Hi, I'm Susan Siefer. I'm an artist here at Waltham Mills, and I paint and weave. Well, it's been an interesting 8 months. I brought a lot of my materials, including my little loom, back home for about 3 months, and found my work was really shifting at that point. It was, especially the painting, was becoming much more literal. I have some three-dimensional pieces that I started working on about a few years back, addressing the problems that we were all facing with the administration. And I just had to make these small pieces to feel safe. And I started exploring these shapes onto my canvases. They, to me, are about connection, and which we all need so badly right now. Interesting enough, when I was painting back in the 80s, and I'll show you a sketchbook that I just pulled out, the shapes were very similar to what I'm doing now. Summer of '81. So I worked with a lot of color, and in the paintings themselves, a lot of texture. Mm-hmm. So it's all related. Organic triangular shapes were about my grandmother's, really, and about the support of women, strong women in my life. And that seems to be what's come back at this point in my life. As we move along, I mean, the pieces start really, to me, become feminine and feel enveloping to me, and decorative. Nature. I just hope that people look at these and it makes them smile in a way, and they bring their own stories into these somewhat ambiguous figures or shelters. What happened with this is, you know, I had these two figures, and I had a third figure here, and I just couldn't get it. And then after RBG died, it was like, oh yeah, of course. If you want to get literal about it, it's about Jewish women in my life that have been very strong models for me. And I started working on it and realizing that it probably needed that woven element in here, and with the materials. This is a dyed mesh and gold leaf strips, and you know, a bit of a doily, and lots of pattern. So with these painting woven pieces, you know, I would cut the bottoms of because I never knew what size they were going to end up as. So I'd have these stiffened pieces of canvas that were gessoed and Venetian plastered, and so that's when I started forming them. They're shrouds, and these are the pieces that I started working on when back at home, when, you know, we were shut down. So I had actually double woven them on this little loom, these little shrouds, capes, whatever, and attached them to the canvas structure. So that's exactly right. That is what they are. They're enclosures. Really what it was the Trump administration that got me going with just having to have some kind of safety net and feeling like I was sheltered in some way. And I call these pieces my shelters. And then boom, you know, comes March and everybody's sheltering in place. And it just all made so much sense to me at that time. somewhat ironically, but and I think, you know, that's all we needed. We all needed that feeling of some kind of safety and taking care of each other and taking care of ourselves, and just trying to make this a better place to live. I moved to Waltham about 5.5 years ago from Andover. I built a new life for myself, and I knew that I wanted to be involved in the artist community that was so strong here. I feel so grateful to be able to come here every day and do my work and be part of this. The whole building is amazing, but there's a lot of artists on this floor, and we all connect in one way or another. I really love Waltham, the restaurants outside these days. The sense of the diverse community, and Hannaford's, and I could say Gordon's because this is a Gordon's building.
Gordon!
Yeah. It's a great place. You know, it's a great place. I spent 20 years as a decorative painter, and I still use those materials that I used on walls and ceilings. I use a lot of gold leaf. I use a lot of Venetian plaster right onto my canvases. So that's also been a very strong part of the process of my work. I started gold leafing 50 years ago when I was picture framing for my then husband's family, and they taught me the whole classical method of it, and I've never stopped. Gold leaf is just so much part of my life and my work. It has to do with the light that comes in and generates out, and that's what I want. I want some light. I just want some light in this world, and if I can give it, that's great.